And we're live.
Hello, everybody out there in the comic book universe, and welcome to Comic Book Weekly, where we talk about comics, news, and a whole bunch more on here. And you guys know me. I'm Mike, DudeRock18. With us, we have Kat and Comic Uno.
Hey, guys. And Mike, right when we go live, which is great. If he hears us.
Yeah, joining us right now is Mike.
Oh, no, he's looking curious, so...
Something's up with the computer. Just give me some time here.
I had a feeling because I was like,
yeah.
that face doesn't look positive.
Yeah, and unfortunately for tonight, Chris, Darkman C86 can't make it for us tonight because he's not really feeling too well. And also, Brand won't be with us also. Last Ember Press. He just recently got married to Lisa, and I congratulate both of them.
Congratulations. We miss you, Bram. But, you know, marriage and all, it's okay that you can skip this 1 week.
Yeah, but we're all happy for him. And it was a really awesome wedding ceremony that was live and featured on Facebook. But with that and everything else, Kat, got some news for this week.
Yes, we do. We're going to save that Batwoman news for a little later in the show. So let's first start out with, I don't know if Mike's live and wired, but if he is,
I'm good.
You're going to head out first?
No, I'm good.
Oh, you're good? Okay. So Diamond hits some shipping snags. You wanted to just discuss that.
Yeah. So, give me a second to catch my bearings here. Yeah, I guess what happened was some of the titles wound up getting delayed, I guess, with DC titles. I don't remember exactly which ones they were now, and I remember I discussed it earlier on my show.
There were Batman and the Outsiders, DC Super, like some reprint, Hawkman, House of Whisper, Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity, The Flash. These are mostly variants. Green Lantern Season 2, Wonder Woman, and then the Year of the Villain, third printing, and Flash Giant.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's like you get your first, major comic days you're coming around the corner, right? May 20th, and then you get next week, which I guess technically would be the first really full official comic book day, and then you get all these titles that didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and they had already advertised that this stuff was coming out, right? We went over the dates, we talked about it, and all of a sudden it's like, no, I'm just kidding. What's that?
I said over and over again. We talked about it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's just frustrating. It's like, oh yeah, we're Diamond, we're gonna get this stuff out, and in DC we're doing all this stuff, and then it's just like, well, just kidding. It's not coming. So I think it's just a little frustrating.
Yeah, and we'll see this week when things officially really start up. It's not just the DC titles, and we have the Image and not Marvel yet. Marvel's just doing digital this coming week, but they're starting to get back. And I guess that's the discussion of, yes, next week we'll be back with our top 5. Maybe big books. We're kind of seeing how many books we end up reading to see what the format of that section is going to be next week, but definitely going to be discussing new books, so look forward to that. We know we're looking forward to that.
Definitely.
But next up, let's talk about, speaking of Diamond, Source Point Press, which is a newer indie company, smaller indie company that is not going through Diamond. So they decided not to go through them, which I thought was interesting because they are an upcoming publisher who decided that. And I think sometimes a lot of goals for indie creators or any creators, like getting that book for Diamond, because that's cool. Again, preview world, or the previews book. So it's interesting to see that already formats are changing and indie creators are taking different routes, and obviously mainstream publishers are taking different routes. So we'll see what the landscape looks like in the future. We got another hey from Comic Universal. All right, let's get into, there's so many things ending, but you know what, let's bring some good news, because we hardly have any good news in the news lately. But Peter David returns to Hulk with Mastro. So Michael wanted to discuss this as well because you're a Peter David fan.
Yeah, it's actually great to hear that Peter David's actually writing a new comic book because, like, we've read some of Peter David's comic books in the past, and his stories are like really good. And just to hear that he's doing another comic book is actually something interesting that probably I'll take a look into because, like I say, I usually follow his comic books, so definitely will be looking into that when that comes out.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. I mean, it's, you know, Peter David did an iconic run when it came to the Hulk. You know, co-created the character in the past, and to tell the origin story of that character, I think is kind of cool. I mean, it's been a long time, so I think people that are fans of that run, that character, are going to be excited for this. So I think that's great news.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool seeing Peter David on a book and something different for Hulk that's not Immortal Hulk for people, you know, maybe not into that series. Not me and Mike, but probably Brant. Maybe Brant will go check it out. We got Lynx who says, "Hey guys, I finally managed to catch this live. Thank you, Lynx."
Oh,
and
welcome to the show.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
Link.
Thank you. And anyone who wants to ask us questions during the show, we love that. So go for it. All right, moving on to Mark Waid and Neil Adams on a new Fantastic Four story. So speaking of kind of old school writers and artists here.
So, Mike?
Yeah, Mike wanted to discuss
You don't
that.
have anything to say, Mike? Yeah. No,
I'm good.
No, I think that's, you don't know. You're not Mark Waid. No.
No, I know them,
Fantastic
but
Four.
I know them, but I'm not fully knowledgeable of, you know, explaining it. Like, I know that they wrote the books, but I'm
You
just...
know they're people and they exist.
Yeah, of course they exist. They write
Oh, it's a good thing. I mean, Mark Waid wrote a lot of Fantastic Four, right? And so, they're doing this story, and it's kind of like the same thing with the Maestro thing. We're getting old creators that used to do runs on these books, and they're kind of rewriting them again or redoing, you know, an arc or a story. And so again, if you're a fan of Mark Waid's run, this is a Fantastic Four that you might be on board with. So I don't know. It might be better than the current run. I know people are either hot or cold when it comes to Fantastic Four with Dan Slott's run currently right now. So you know, take it or leave it for what it is. You know, I like Mark Waid. I know some people weren't a fan of Mark Waid's, you know, Fantastic Four, but we'll see what happens with it.
Didn't he also write Daredevil, Mark Waid?
Yep, the same
He
guy.
did write
Yes.
Daredevil.
And that was good. That was really good.
Yeah, I
Daredevil
remember
run.
that.
We got a couple people, again, kind of catching live, which is cool. So Ron P says, "Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Hello,
glad
Ron.
to catch the show live." And we
Hey,
are
Ron.
glad that you caught it live. But yeah, no opinion on the Fantastic Four stuff. I maybe I'll give it a try, but I'm enjoying Dan Slott's runs. I don't know if I need more Fantastic Four on my list. Depends what the story is going to be. But speaking of what Kat likes, Kimberly is going to be in a mini series for Power Rangers called Draken's New Dawn, and this is going to be focused on Ranger Slayer. And all I gotta say is I'm very excited because I love Ranger Slayer, and I'm glad they're giving her some love.
I knew you would check that one off.
Yeah, of course. I felt bad Chris wasn't on to help me out.
Yeah, because he would have talked about the whole Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and all that.
Yeah, he would have backed me up, but you guys
I mean,
here.
it does sound pretty cool that they're doing that story. I mean, like I said, I don't read the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic books. Like, I know some of the Power Rangers stuff from like past TV shows, and I've read maybe a few of the comics, not all of them, but I think it's going to be a pretty awesome story.
Tevye asks,
And real quick, and for the people that are just coming on, we haven't talked about the Batwoman news yet, so we will get to that news piece. So be patient, enjoy the show on what we have. We will get to that.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. It wasn't even our original title. We had it's just like, oh, DC's canceling stuff. That was our original title, and then this dropped, and you're like, you know what? Probably should change it.
Leaving. Let's change
This news dropped today.
Yeah, literally like 2 hours ago. We'll talk about it, but I was shocked. But yeah, Tevye asks, any opinion on Mark Waid's Avengers book? I don't think I ever read it. I don't remember when it came out. There's too many Avengers books. Avengers. Let me see when it came out. Oh yeah. No, I do remember this one.
Which one was that one?
It's 2014. Who drew this? I don't know who drew it, but anyways, it's 2014.
All new, all different Marvel?
It was Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Avengers. Shield's title began and introduced several characters. So I think Falcon, Thor, Jane was in it. So maybe this is the first Avengers Jane was in. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's so many Avengers books, and I don't think I've fully read through it.
So many people wrote Avengers in these past decade. It's been a lot, I think.
Yeah, and Avengers just keeps getting rebooted. No one really knows
By the way,
what to do with that title.
Somebody received your comic book and said, "Great read, thank you."
Oh, thank you so much. I will say June 1st, the Kickstarter for issue 6 is going to be released. We got a lot of cool goodies, so look forward to that. I'm really glad that you got your comic and that you enjoyed them. And we'll go through some more comments. Well, Kick Vlog, I guess, is new. Hey, where are you from? Well, we got 2 New Yorkers here. One Floridian.
Man.
I'm New Yorker.
Yep, I'm Florida. I wasn't born in Florida though. I lived in Florida since I was 3. My family's from New York, my mom's side. So, and I have a lot of family. Yeah, kind of. So, but I've been living in Florida since I was 3.
But mostly a Floridian then. But you know what? You could be an honorary New Yorker. That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll accept it. Neil Adams would be an interesting take. I thought he was a DC main guy. Does he have any history with Marvel at all? I don't know enough about Neil Adams' work to let you know that. Definitely know that he did more DC, but I don't.
Yeah,
I'm guessing he must have done stuff with Marvel, or else
I'll look it up real quick.
Deal. Yeah, Mike will look it up.
Yes, titles maybe because he was.
Tevye asks, any opinion on DC Generations being canceled? It's not canceled, just hasn't been solicited yet. Same thing for many of the X-Men titles. Just because it's not on the solicits does not mean it got canceled. Black Knight did not like Mark Waid's Avengers. Again, I don't even remember it very much. All right, well, as Mike looks up Neil Adams' whole entire life story, we will move on to our next topic.
He's done X-Men.
Does he? Or did he?
And he did Beware of the Inhumans. Marvel feature The Defenders. He did that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he's done some stuff. Yeah, he's done some X-Men titles. So yeah. So pretty cool. Yeah, he's worked at Marvel. Kree Skull War, he did that.
He's been jumping around, that means.
Yeah.
Another question.
He's doing Fantastic Four.
He's doing Fantastic. I don't love Neil Adams' work though. He's not one of my favorite artists. It's a little bulky for me. I think that's why I'm a little hesitant on the Fantastic Four run as well. Mm-hmm. We have a question from Mike Manhattan. Mike, have you read Peter David's X Factor run from 2005 with Multiple Man?
Which Mike? Him or?
I'm guessing you, Michael, just because you're more the X Factor guy. I mean, Mike has read it.
You did, Michael. You ran. You you read that run.
Yeah,
you read that whole thing.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the story. I even liked Peter David's X Factor, even when he came back to write the new ones. I really enjoyed that run, and it was a really great read. I miss his run on X Factor, but they weren't just doing well, so
We got the new X Factor coming out. Well, we'll talk about it. I think July, so we'll get that rundown later. But let's move on to the next topic, which is Sean G. Murphy launches a new Indiegogo for a title called The Plot Holes, which I actually did back up. I got the soft cover for it. Yeah, I'm always a fan of his writing and his art, so it looked really cool. It's about all these different forms of comics coming together. So you have like this anime type character, I don't know, like this Western type character. So it looked cool. I got it.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea. I didn't buy it because I was like, dude, it's $30. I was like, I was like, then there's $10 for a digital copy. I'm like, $10 for digital, and then there was $30 for the soft. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I get it. I'm like, but at the same time, like, you're Sean Murphy. I'm like, someone couldn't have done this. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you really need a Kickstarter for this?
I think a lot of creators are just going on that bandwagon because they're making more money doing it that way. There's no middleman.
Sure they are.
Yeah. It's interesting to see that. I think now that Diamond, the whole Diamond situation happened, it's just like more trustworthy to do it yourself.
And he succeeded that goal.
Oh yeah, he's up to like over $100,000. Might be close to $150,000 now, and that's in like 2 days.
That's insane.
But it's really cool to see, like, all right, in the recent like 2 or 3 weeks, we've had Jimmy Palmiotti, Sean G. Murphy, Jeff Lemire. These are we obviously had Todd McFarlane. These are very big heavy hitters going to Kickstarter, and that being their new distributing platform. I'm really excited the next year to see where the comic industry is at with that, and like graphic novels and stuff like that. I'm very excited. But I will definitely read the issue. I'll let you know if it's good or not, Mike.
Okay, cool.
Speaking of, this is actually very different news because James Tynion has a new Boom graphic novel, but switched formats to single issue, which was weird because, we've been hearing so much just going digital and stuff like that. So this is going to be single issue. I think it's also printed. Yeah, it's going to be in comic stores and digital. Yeah. It's going to now be a limited series. So
what's it called? Wind, I think it was.
Yeah, I think. Let me see.
Yeah, I think it's called Wind.
Yep, Wind, but with a Y.
Y, yeah.
Are you gonna get it?
I think that I'm gonna try it because I think he's a good writer and I think he's doing a great job so far of what he's done with Batman, and I want to see some independent work from him. I'm sure he's done independent work, but I haven't read it before. So I definitely want to see.
Well, you read Something is Killing the Children, right?
Oh, that's right. He did read. Okay, that's right. I always forget that he wrote that book. Yeah. Okay. So I will definitely check it out.
I don't know what it's about, so I'll see like when it comes out, like dig a little deeper if the premise interests me. But yeah, I just think it's cool the different distributing paths Boom has been taking in the past couple of years, even before COVID. So it's cool that they've like been changing it up even towards a area that you wouldn't expect. We do have a question from Comic Universal. Any opinions on Coates' Black Panther run? I've never really read a Black Panther book. I know I should, but I've never gotten into the character. I love the movie, but I haven't read the comic.
For Wakanda.
Sadly, that's all I know about Black Panther.
I for some reason can never really get into the character through the comics. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a few issues here and there from him. I've read stuff, but it never for some reason, it's just never got attracted to the character. Nothing against him. It's just not my thing,
Yeah, same. Just, sometimes it's just not on your radar. Hopefully there's a creator that does put it on our radar, though. I think if they connected it more to other storylines, it might be a little easier. But it's so like in its own story and has its, decades of mythos, and there hasn't, I felt like, a new reader friendly version of the character. Mike Manhattan asks, do you think Mastro will be in the MCU? No, I don't think so. Just because Hulk is already so limited.
It could be a possibility, maybe, if you know, if there's going to be maybe a huge following of it in the comic industry. Depending on if they have story for it and if they're going to bring it out, or if they think about it.
Not while the rights are with Universal. I think they could do something maybe on our own individual Hulk story, but I don't know if they would do it like, you know, with an Avenger story, because always Hulk's got to be with somebody. He can't be an individual. And I feel like that might be an individualized type of story that just focuses around Bruce Banner. I mean, I could be wrong, you know?
No, I agree with you. And I think, I mean, look at Thor Ragnarok, which was supposed to be Planet Hulk, and it was a Thor story. Tevye asks, do you think we'll see Scarlet Spider Ben appear in MCU? Same thing. You know, they're hardly keeping a thread on Spider-Man. It's been hard enough for them to have one more movie with him. So if we're going to get Ben Reilly, it'll be Into the Spider-Verse, not the MCU. All right, let's go into the next thing, which is another Boom Studios news piece, which is learning a bit more about 7 secrets from Boom. I'm going to try reading the description if I can find it. So for centuries, the Order has trusted in keepers and holders to guard the secrets in 7 briefcases against all harm. But when their stronghold is attacked and the secrets put in peril, the entire Order must face their greatest fear, an enemy who knows too much and is willing to kill to get what he wants. I'm definitely going to check this out. It's Tom Taylor. He hasn't really done creator-owned. I know he did The Deep, but that was based on one of his shows. I don't think he's done a creator-owned book besides that. So I'm definitely going to check this out. I don't know if like the plot is really grabbing me, which is a little, you know, concerning, but it's so secret.
You got to trust him because he knows how to write characters. And it's just like, it could be interesting because the secrets that are held within these, I read the description as well. These secrets could just definitely destroy the world or whatever it is. And it's just one guy against these other people. And it's just, I don't know. It seems like it could be cool, but I think it, again, what's going to capture you is his character development, because I think he really focuses on that. And I think it's going to be something special. I really do.
Art looks great. It's the same artist who has done Power Rangers, but other stuff as well. So I'm really excited for the creative team, and I'm sure all of us here are going to be getting it. Yes, we are going to talk about the Deceased digital story. I guess we could talk about that now. So they just announced that Deceased is having a digital first book, and there's no print in sight. It's called Deceased Hope at World's End. And this is definitely worrisome. This is now going into Marvel only printing and trade, it seems like, with some books, and now Deceased, this book, not even being collected in print. I mean, I'm not going to get it, you know, just like I don't feel like I need to. I'm just going to get the sequel. I don't like, I think a lot of us here don't love reading digital books unless you have to. And I'll read Spider-Gwen digitally because I like that book. But to try a new book with so many spinoffs, that seems kind of unnecessary. I'm going to probably skip this one.
I feel that this is like, I get that Tom Taylor's Injustice was a digital first book, and they did release it in single issues later on, and then obviously in trade. My problem with this is the Deceased line is really well done, and you started it with physical comics, and this is a spin-off book that takes place during the main story. Okay, to kind of fill in the gaps of what you missed, because Tom Taylor wanted to keep this story condensed, but now this is kind of like a behind the scenes type of thing. So I feel like, people that are trying to collect this whole run that he's doing with the DC storyline, this kind of screws it up. Now, hopefully they will release it in a trade or something down the line, because it just sucks, man. I don't like when it's just like, oh, you gotta read this digital first, and you gotta pay for it, of course, so it's just like, and it's being released every other week. That's what I read.
Yeah, every other week. And usually they do that with the digital first. I think they did that with Batman Adventures. And I read the first 2 chapters. I'm like, nah, I'm going to wait for the print because I just don't like digital first comics that much. I don't mind reading digital comics when I have to, but digital first. I think the only one I even enjoyed was Jessica Jones, and I think I would have enjoyed that more in print.
And it only tells you like what, half of the first issue? Is that what it is? It's like so it tells you half of an issue and it leaves you cliffhanged at half an issue, and then it's like then you have to wait the 2 weeks and then you get the other part of the issue. It's just like either release the whole damn story at one point, and then give me another issue, or just don't do it at all.
Yeah, I'd rather at least have a full issue. If they're half issue, it's like, what am I getting here? Not much. I agree with that. So we'll see where that one goes and if it actually gets a print run at all. But let's get back to some more DC news. So and then we'll get to the Batwoman news very soon. But Gold Lantern joins the Legion of Superheroes. So Mike wanted to discuss this one.
So Legion of Superheroes, I don't read the story. I wasn't a fan of it from the beginning, so I didn't jump on board. But I saw this article and I'm like, okay, we're having Gold Lanterns. Like, we don't even have a Green Lantern Corps book, right? We barely have a Hal Jordan book right now. We don't have a Kyle Rayner book right now. But yet now we're going to have a Gold Lantern Corps being introduced in Legion. I'm like, what the heck? And what is this? What gold powers? Like, we have yellow. That's close to gold enough. Why do we need gold, right?
Do we know what the power is? What is the gold?
No, I guess it's there's a combination of a gold power ring and a Legion ring. So the dude's wearing like 2 rings. So I have no idea what's going on. And this is like, I gotta buy it because I need to know what's going on in it. And I'm afraid though, when I buy it, it's like the Gold Lantern Corps is going to appear on one page the way Brian Michael Bendis writes. And it's like, you're going to have to wait in the next issue, but I can see it now. I can see it. Gold Lantern Corps issue 1 written by Brian Michael Bendis. I could totally see it.
Man, I definitely do not need a Gold Lantern series. That's, I could see it too, because again, Brian Michael Bendis has a lot of books on his plate, but I rather focus on the Green Lanterns a bit.
Silverstroke says silver lanterns, platinum lanterns, tie-dye lanterns.
Tie-dye lanterns are just hippies. That's it.
Didn't we get like the White Lantern, right? Wasn't that had the power of like all the rings?
Yeah, I think it was the like pretty much power of all the rings and like power of life, because I think that came out of Blackest Night. I think that.
Yeah. God, that was so long ago.
Yeah, that was like, was it 10 years ago? Might be more.
Yeah, it's like 10 years ago.
I was reviewing Blackest Night like for my review show. That's how long we've been doing this. Mike, it's crazy. Mike Manhattan asks, has anyone read Grant Morrison's The Filth? I have not. Sorry, have not.
I haven't read it. I haven't read it. I don't think I even heard of it, though, to tell you the truth.
No, I try to skip Morrison books. It's just not my vibe. We are going to talk about the Terrifics. I'm going to probably save that for after we talk about Batwoman, though. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to discuss before Batwoman. All right, let's start. Let's do Batwoman now, and we'll get back to the other stuff. So our title is that Ruby Rose is no longer Batwoman. And then also a couple of days ago, they announced the Superman Lois Lane, like the crossover for this year is going to be Superman Lois Lane and Batwoman. So this is great planning. Yeah, right?
That's something.
It's crazy.
This is big news because it's like, I guess the show, listen, I haven't watched a single episode of the show. I've seen clips of it, like going to bed, like lying in bed, and I see the last 5 or 7 minutes of it. I'm like, it looks kind of good. I'll watch it one day. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. And then I set up a series record, though, for Stargirl because I want to see, how it is. But nevertheless, though, it's kind of like a shock, right? And there's no real reason behind it. They haven't given a reason, and they made it a thing to say it's not because of her accident or what happened earlier in, when she first started, which to me, I think maybe that she may not want to admit it, but I think maybe that's part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Trauma for sure. I think it's a shock, and it's just like, why do you want to be on a show that hurt you that badly? So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we'll ever know, and obviously that's okay. But I kind of feel like they should have just canceled the show then. I don't think the show's doing so great that they're like, oh, let's just recast them. Or maybe it's just like they wanted to keep it. I'm just curious who they're gonna recast. I don't know. I didn't really love the show. I'm still gonna watch the full season. I usually like binging the show, and all the DC shows I like binging. So sorry, I was reading the comments. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still in shock, I think. This is crazy. This has never happened for a DC or CW DC show. Something
And after one
happened.
season.
One season. It's like and who do you think they're gonna recast? I don't even know who would fit the role.
Who could you and you got to do it quick, because think about it. You got to obviously watch the material, and see what has happened, and now all of a sudden you got to just kind of slip into that role. And then after watching the show for the first year, you got to sit there and, it's going to be weird getting used to a different person that plays the character. I mean, I know we see it in other things all the time, right? We've seen different Batmans in movies, different Supermans in movies, we've seen it, but in a show, it's a little bit different, because in a show you've watched, what's it called? You've watched episodes. How many episodes a day? I have 20 episodes.
Yeah, 20 something episodes. Well, Tree Bark even acts. Does the show get any better as the show continues? Again, I only watched the first half. I guess I heard it gets better. I don't know. I just didn't love it. So I like Batwoman a lot as a character, and I loved her run in Detective Comics. I even liked her New 52 Batwoman stuff. I just didn't think the show really nailed what the comics did, sadly. But
so,
yeah,
I mean, so where do you rank from what you've seen right now? Okay, let's do this. Based off of first seasons, okay, because maybe that's a comparable thing.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your favorite shows out of the Arrowverse shows?
For first season?
Yeah. Going back, you start with Arrow, and you got Flash, right? You got Batwoman, you got Legends, Supergirl, Black Lightning, right?
I'd go with, just for personal preference, I think Supergirl, because I like that the most for first season.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to say the best quality first season, it was probably Flash.
I would have to say it can't be Arrow, because that first season sucked.
That was rough. And also Legends first season was really rough. So
right. I would probably agree with you. I would probably say Flash out of the ones that I've seen. I did watch Legends the first season. I watched Supergirl the first season. That was not good for me. And that's when it was on CBS.
And if you didn't like the first season, you're probably not going to like any of the rest, because I think it just gets worse as it goes on.
I did watch Supergirl up until, I think, I haven't watched any of this season and last season. So I don't think I've watched it for 2 seasons.
Okay, so it gets a lot worse, because now I'm starting to fall off the bandwagon. These last 2 seasons is ridiculous. I have not, and I love Supergirl. I love the character. I have not liked the show in a while, sadly. I just think it went off the wall. We're gonna say.
Oh well, 2 things. Probably one of the best seasons I ever watched was Arrow season 2 with Deathstroke. I thought that was one of the best seasons in any superhero show that I ever watched. And then I want to know in the comments, because we got a lot in the chat right now, but I want to know what is some of the people that have watched Batwoman. I want to know what you liked the most about it. Was it the action? Was it the effects? Was it Ruby Rose? You know, what was it about it that you liked so much? Or was it like the closest thing to a Batman show that you liked about it so much? Cirque show. Nice.
Yes. Hey, Cirque, how's it going? Glad to see you in the comments. It's cool to see a lot of different people we haven't seen in a while in the comments. So that was very nice. So just trying to answer that question of what I enjoyed the most for Batwoman. Alice, actually, the main villain is what I enjoyed the most. She was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the villain's pretty cool in it. Other than that, again, I heard it gets better in the second half, but I hear there's like a cool love triangle. It's funny that the two love interests. So it's one of the like people she knew from her academy days, and then another Alfred Pennyworth's daughter or niece are the two love interests, like the love triangle going on. And supposedly the two love interests have better chemistry with each other than Ruby Rose. And I think that's hysterical. So a lot of people want them together instead of Ruby Rose with them. But I hear they kind of make the show too. Is they got good chemistry. I don't really like many of the supporting characters is an issue. I don't really like Luke Fox is in it. He's in it. I don't really love him. The dad's in it. I don't really like him that much.
But no, like really great villains though. I mean, you said
Just
the
Alice.
one, but
well, she's the big bad. She's like her minions tend to be the other big bads. So she's the main villain because she's the sister of Batwoman, and then like her minions will attack Batwoman, and they'll be a villain for an episode. But it's mostly Alice.
I like that question that Treebark asked. Where is Commissioner Gordon?
Not around. Watch Harley, man. Just keep watching Harley Quinn because Commissioner Gordon is so freaking good in that show. And thank you. 33 people were watching.
Yes,
there's people that are saying like, you know, I asked the question, you know, what did you like about Batwoman? Edgar reviews nothing. Tevia nothing. Treebark says nothing so far.
Sorry, guys.
And then Edgar goes, I got one. The credits.
Ooh, you might want to give up on the show then if you guys hate it that much. Can't find one thing.
Ron P says, why is Ruby leaving though? Is she going back to movie projects?
We don't know. That's the issue, I guess.
There was no description of it. Like in the whole article, they didn't want to discuss it. They just both parted ways.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some more behind the scenes stuff. And again, it could do with the injury and, you know, the traumatic experience she had with that. Could really be anything, but it might be best for both of them. You know, the actress moving on to a different project, and then for Batwoman going a different direction. Many people will love season 2. You know, what I just mentioned about Legends. I did a Legends Tomorrow podcast, still do. We all hated season 1. We hated it. But then they completely changed the show for season 2 and ended up becoming like a comedy show. So maybe getting a new actress, they'll be able to retool the show and figure out what they want it to be. And that might be good.
Right.
So it might be
Tom says, who would be a good replacement? Like I said, I don't know. I really have no idea. I'm bad at that stuff when it comes to like actors or actresses just trying to play certain parts. Like I have no freaking clue. I never expected her to even play that role. I was shocked.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, what's up?
All she did before that was Orange is the New Black, and it was kind of hard to tell. You know, her acting skills or if she would fit the role, because she kind of was playing herself in Orange is the New Black, and she comes from a modeling background. So, you know, hopefully they get someone who's a lesbian or part of the LGBT community and, you know, represents the character well. And hopefully we get that news soon, because I'm sure they gotta shoot this thing sooner or later. They gotta shoot this thing probably, well, it depends on COVID and all that, but they're doing a crossover, and that's their only crossover for the year. They got a lot of work to do.
Yep,
absolutely.
There's another question all the way up. If we've watched The Irishman. I haven't. I really should. I haven't
heard of it.
I never have either.
It's like an Oscar movie. It's Martin Scorsese, or is it Scorsese or Scorsese? Never know. Everyone pronounces
I
it
think people
differently.
say it both ways.
Yeah. I always used to say it's Scorsese, and I think that's the right way to say it, but I always hear Scorsese as well. But I haven't seen it. I hear it's very long. Let's see. I don't see it continuing, honestly. See a cancellation incoming. Well, they already renewed it. That's the thing, and they already have a crossover coming up. DC Legends of Tomorrow is the only one you gave up on. That's the only one you should keep. If you gave up with season 1, it's literally a different show for season 2 through all the rest. I love that show. All right, let's get into some other news pieces. And next up is that this is for Michael. This is all for Michael. Boom is adapting a Mega Man Fully Charged miniseries.
Yes. So when I heard about that, I was really so excited about that because I've read the Sonic comic books, and I've read also past Mega Man comic books ever since Sonic and Mega Man had a crossover. And it was a really interesting story. So when that comes out, I'm definitely going to be looking into reading that to see what story are they going to adapt to a Mega Man. Like, because, you know, sometimes they do time traveling where it's Mega Man X when he's an adult. And then sometimes they focus more.
What is he? Like, does he,
he's a boy that could turn into a robot. Like his dad created him to become a boy, but also a robot that fights against Dr. Wily's robots. Because Dr.
So he is half robot. It's not just a suit. That's his arm. Like, how does he eat? Like, he's
a robot.
No fingers.
He don't look too much into it. He's just like he's a robot, and
he fights all the robots of Dr. Wily, whatever is thrown at him, so he doesn't get to defeat Dr. Light.
I grew up to Mega Man, like in playing Nintendo. I played the first Mega Man game. I played Mega Man 2, which was like super popular. You know, I've played them all, and I still play Mega Man today with my son because they have Mega Man 11 on the Switch, and me and him were playing it. Yeah, so I think it's kind of cool that Boom is doing it too. And I know. So if you're a fan of that series, I think it's cool. But yeah, Mega Man's just a robot, and he's got to fight Dr. Wily, who's this evil genius who wants these his robots to take over the world. And of course, Mega Man's got to stop him. And when he defeats one of these big bosses, he absorbs their power, and he becomes like the ultimate robot. It's cool shit. It's nostalgic. If you like the character, you're going to like the comic. So I think Boom doing this is pretty cool. The artwork that was shown in the article was pretty neat also. So I'll pick it up. It's only like 6 issues. So
try that one out. When's it coming out? Did they say September?
Oh, I don't remember.
Let me look. Let's see. 6 issue August. So look forward to that for August. Cool. Comic Universal says, also, why can't we get a Batgirl series? I mean, freaking Batwoman got a show before Babs. Come on, Babs is much better and has more stories you can use. I would love to see a Batgirl show. I would love to see both exist. I think they both have room to exist. But I'm going to plug Harley Quinn again because Batgirl is in season 2 of Harley Quinn, and she's like a main character in it, and she's great. So watch.
I have a feeling, though, like, now that Batwoman's out, I don't think they would come out with a Batgirl.
Yeah, just because.
And I think, Universal's right. Like, I think they should have done a Batgirl series first. I think that would be pretty cool, and I think people would have jumped on board with that real quickly.
Silver Stroke says maybe they'll retool Batwoman into Batgirl. I hope not, just because they are so different characters and they represent different things. Yeah, I think for both fan bases that would be not good for either character. And then it shows like they're interchangeable, and I don't think they're interchangeable just because they're both woman in the Batman.
That would kind of be a little awkward if they did that.
It's now called Batgirl. is this show spoiler free? No, it's not, but there's no comics that came out for us this week, so we're not spoiling any comics that came out this week, but usually this is not a spoiler free show because we talk about the comics from pretty much last week.
Right.
So
So like if we talked about, because I got one new comic this week. So Justice League issue 44 that came out on Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. That's 6 days from when the new comics were released. And so by this show, we do talk spoilers.
Yeah, so we do. Also, Hawk and Dove says Nightwing would be a good series, but he's in Titans, and I feel like he's the lead of that.
Yeah, but I think Nightwing wouldn't be too bad of a show, really.
Yeah, but then you're like, it's the same show. It's like you're gonna have a different actor play the same character. I think that's a
But
little
it could
bit
be more
too much.
probably towards his origin story, probably.
See, that'd be a better movie. They're gonna make a Nightwing movie.
Maybe a movie.
Sure.
It could be maybe
Yeah.
a definite good movie.
I definitely like to see a Nightwing movie.
I want to see a Gold Lantern show.
Me too. Right away, before the comic,
Yeah.
I just want to see the
For the
show.
comic, I want to see the Gold Lanterns.
Before the Green Lantern show, there should be the Gold Lanterns. It's the prelude.
You said you wouldn't read Gold Lanterns, right?
Mhm.
When we were talking about it in our chat, what if Carol Ferris led the team?
Yeah, I'll read Gold Lanterns then. That's like the only reason. That's the only way I'd read Gold Lanterns is if Carol Ferris is a Gold Lantern. I don't think that will happen, but it'd be very nice. That would be
If we
very
see her again, it would be nice.
I would definitely like pick up the issue if she's like in an issue. We'll never see Carol Ferris again, sadly. They don't want to show any love for her. What about a Superboy show? Again, also in Titans. I would not want to see any characters that are in that show to have their own show because that gets confusing. And then Red Hood show. So many Batman. Let's explore different stuff. Edgar wants a new Iron Man cartoon. That'd be cool. I'd be up for that.
That would be actually pretty sweet. I know Mike would like that.
Iron Man would be awesome cartoon. I would love to see that. I would love to see new Marvel cartoons. I think that would be awesome. Like Avengers Mightiest Heroes, like that cartoon was the shit. And that wasn't even on that long. I used to watch that with my son when he was really young. And he loved it. I loved it. And then before we knew it was over, I'm like, man. I even remember the Superhero Squad.
Mm-hmm. Those around the same time. I think I was released.
I was on at the same time, and that was actually a pretty good show. There was a lot of decent Marvel stuff, towards the first part of 2000, like 2008, 9, around that timeline. And now we just don't see it as much for some reason,
Also, we're so oversaturated with shows. Like back then, like getting an Avengers cartoon was like the only thing we had. We had Heroes, we had Smallville, we had that Avengers cartoon. So we also just have so much media to ingest and so many superheroes to ingest. But of course, I would love to see another cartoon made. Disney Plus is in the works with that. That'd be kind of nice. But Disney Plus seems like they're really going the kid route more than trying to aim it for adults, which is sad. I think it'd be cool to see them explore. Not saying that it should be like rated R, but something that adults can enjoy, like Lizzie McGuire, which I think they're thinking of making it go on Hulu, which would be great. They stopped production of the show because not Lizzie, but Hilary Duff and the creator wanted it to be about adult issues and people who grew up with that show to relate to what Lizzie was going through as an adult. And I thought that was brilliant. And they stopped the show because they're like, well, that's what we want to do. And Disney Plus is like, no, we need to make it for like kids. And they're like, no, that's not what we want. And I agree. I think the show would only be successful and good, I would say, if they made it for adults. So hopefully it goes on Hulu. But it looks like, again, Disney Plus is not aiming to that demographic, which I don't know if is a good thing or not. Let's see. There's a couple of comments here. A lot of Star Wars stuff.
Comic Universal. I'm sorry. This one just popped in front of me. He goes, do any of you guys play Star Wars The Old Republic? I used to when it was on PlayStation 2. Right?
Yeah.
Michael? Yeah. I love that game. And let me tell you a quick story. I remember when it first came out, and I shit you not, I spent so much time playing that flipping game. I got to the very end, right? The very end, and the game froze.
Oh no.
And now I saved it, and it lost all of my data, and I had to start completely over again.
Wait, how's it lose data when it freezes? That's weird.
It just froze at the very end.
The whole thing?
Everything was lost on the memory card.
Oh my god. I never heard
I lost everything.
Oh, that's
I was so angry. Man, oh man, it was so frustrating.
When I used to play Kingdom Hearts, I didn't have a memory card, so all I would pass is them on the island. I never got to the Disney part. I never understood why people liked Kingdom Hearts so much. I'm like, all you do is collect rope each and every time.
Kingdom Hearts was a great adventures game, actually. It had lots of great stories to it and different Disney universes that Sora, Donald, and Goofy went into. It's really amazing.
It wasn't my thing. I tried the newest one, and I'm like, I don't get why you can't play as everybody. That'd be kind of cool. Your only sidekicks are Donald and Goofy.
The only thing I don't like about Kingdom Hearts is that Axel turned to Lee. I didn't like that. I liked him as Axel. And see, and even Ellie, you heard her in the background.
There's a lot of mythology, confusing mythology that goes into that game. But let's get into, well, this is a question. I know Mike read this. Anyone reading Transformers vs. Terminator? I think that was like one of the last books before.
Oh yeah, man. I totally forgot about that book until just now, right? I love that freaking book, man. That was a great book. And hopefully we'll get it back soon. You know, that and what's Jeff Lemire's book, the tree book, the Family
Tree.
Yeah.
Because that book just took a turn right at the end of that last issue. And I was like, oh, yeah, now shit's going to get like that's just the first beginning part of the story. And now we're getting into it because it's the older brother. But Terminator vs. Transformers was a fun read. And it was better than I expected. I thought it was going to be this lame story, but it had a lot of elements with Terminator in there with the Transformers, mythos. And I'm looking forward to issue 2 when it comes out.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking more comics next week, which is fun. And let's get into some more of the news pieces here. So more towards the sad news. Harley Quinn is ending with issue 75, which, again, it's like a curse of DC. Anytime there's a TV show, they just canceled the comic. They're like, the character's popular. We should
they're
cancel
quarter
the
way
comic.
to 100 at least.
But that's crazy that Harley, out of all the characters, come on, that's DC's bread and butter there. I guess they're probably rebooting it. That's my guess, is they're rebooting it to something else. But I was surprised by that.
But how much can you reboot Harley Quinn?
Well, I think they're just going to get a new creative team, and they just want to.
I think they're just going to get a new creative team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they'll just start it over with a new number one. I have a feeling when as this conversation goes, when we talk now, there'll probably be a lot of new number ones that will be released from DC. But Harley's Harley. Like, Harley's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So
all these miniseries.
Yeah, it's just a matter of who's going to be the next people to write her. She'll never go nowhere.
I heard Sam Humphries had a really good run. I'm actually kind of kicking myself that I didn't read it, but it was in the middle of the comic. So it's kind of hard to catch on to a series you haven't been reading and you're like, oh, that was the issue that new creative team came on. So I actually would be happier if they went to issue 1. Like Mariko Tamaki is taking over Wonder Woman, but it's like, when does she take it over? And then you forget to read her first issue. Although I am definitely going to check out her first issue. All right, let's get into another ending for DC, which is Joshua Williamson is ending his run on The Flash. So he's been on this thing since issue 1. I think it's time. I've honestly jumped on and off to the series. I know a lot of people like his run a lot, and I think he's done a lot to the mythos, but I think he's been on it for a while, and it'll be nice to get a fresh voice.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think he spent his time on there. He's written his story. And you know, I think it's fine. The book is continuing. It's the numbering is not going away. You're just going to get a new creative team. And I think if you know, I'm the same way, Kat. I've read a few issues here and there of Flash. I'm not the biggest fan of the character. I don't have that rich history or connection to the character. So for me, it didn't really capture me all that much. But I respect for what the writer did. And it's nothing to, you know, be ashamed of. You know, I think eventually you tell the story you want to tell, and then you just gotta move on.
I agree for sure. Let's go on to, let's see. We have 2 more topics, I think. And then we'll go to the solicits for July for Marvel and DC. But Supergirl and the Terrifics are being concluded digitally. So if you've been picking up all those books and you wanted the whole printed run, you're not getting it, which is definitely the same Marvel route you're going. We're seeing it with DC. I don't read either, so it doesn't affect me. But I don't know. Just it's weird to see that. I get it why they're doing it, but
You know, it's like first they announced that Supergirl was being canceled for the longest time, right? Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, here you go, that last issue, yeah, right? It's only the last issue, right?
I believe it's either last issue or last 2. I think maybe 2 are coming out digitally for it.
Yeah, I think it stinks. Like if you say you collected all those issues and it's just like, sorry, don't have the last one because DC decided to go digital on them, you know?
Well, especially you read it 10 years later and you kind of forget that digital comic came out and you're like, oh,
yeah,
what? How did that end?
Why is my story not complete? You know?
Yeah.
There was the other thing that I mentioned to you earlier about Kelly Sue DeConnick not being on Aquaman.
Oh yeah, I forgot to add that. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So supposedly in the solicits for, I think it's August for DC, Kelly Sue DeConnick's not on the Aquaman title. So I haven't seen an official article or release or anything like that saying that she's completely off the book, but that would be crazy, wouldn't it? I mean, she hasn't been on it all that long, and for her to be released from it is a little insane. I mean, she also did Captain Marvel. She was come over here from Marvel Comics, and now what? What's going on for her after this, right?
Yeah, and then also again goes back to like DC's ending everything. I feel like there's been more endings than announcements, which again, understandable with COVID, but what is there to look forward to? Everyone's leaving, things are ending. What new stuff do we have right now?
Right. And I think there's going to be some kind of major retool after this death metal thing. It has to, because now at this point, with no Supergirl, no Harley.
Well, Dan Didio's gone, so there's, someone now leading. I guess Jim Lee's totally leading the charge, but there has to be differences now.
Right. I mean, you got to sit there and think when this metal event is over that DC is going to completely retool and release some of these books that have been canceled. No Deathstroke, right? I just think about all the books that now we don't have. Like we said it even before a couple of months ago, and now there's even more titles being canceled.
Yeah, remember when Green Arrow was supposed to come back? Like, when's that happening?
Yeah, who knows? Never, as of right now.
Green Arrow's never coming back. There was another. I feel like there was other titles too. They were like, oh yeah, we have, but Green Arrow is the one that comes to mind. So hopefully there's something. I know they have like Strange Adventures coming out, so that's still new. Deceased, the sequel's coming out, and then they have all their events. They have Death Metal, which I'm picking up the first issue because there's nothing coming out that week, but I'm not that interested in that. Joker War I am. Joker War I'm excited for, and I am excited for the 3 Jokers because that artwork looks so freaking good. Very excited for that book if it ever comes out. And then Generations, we don't really know anything about it, so I don't have many thoughts on it. And it hasn't been solicited for a while.
Yeah, who knows what they're doing with it.
Yeah.
See, they could be completely changing it to the point of where it's like it leads into these new books that are going to be released sometime into the future.
Which would be nice because I miss that excitement. I miss when things were like I miss the new 52 excitement, even the Rebirth excitement when those were first launched. I want new titles to be like, oh my God, I can't wait for June 1st to come because this book's coming out. I haven't felt that for a DC title since probably Dial H. And when I loved that book and I was like, oh, I can't wait for this week to come because Dial H is coming out, or like Supergirl
Yeah,
Superman that was coming out.
Yeah, I think the thing that I'm most excited about when I get my DC books is right now I'm really enjoying Batman, but I am so enjoying, like, I would read Sean Murphy's Batman,
Mhm.
The White Knight. I
That's
really
done.
looked forward to that. And honestly, the DC's titles, I really enjoy those books. Like, those are the ones that I really look forward to. Oh, I'm sorry. And Suicide Squad. But again, it's Tom Taylor. It's just certain writers, that it's just a handful of them where I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait for this DC title to come out right now.
Yeah, and hopefully we get to see that for more titles for sure. All right, let's get into speaking of DC, the July schedule here. So we're going to talk about books we're getting for each month, and during this time, guys, definitely ask your questions because we'll do last minute questions after this because it's our last news topic. So July 7th, we have, and I'm just doing DC and then we'll do Marvel, but July 7th, we have Batman issue 94, Batman and the Outsiders issue 14, The Batman Grave issue 8, Detective Comics issue 1023, The Flash issue 757, The Green Lantern season 2 issue 5, Hawkman issue 25, Justice League Odyssey issue 22, Strange Adventures issue 3, Superman issue 23, Wonder Woman issue 758, and then Young Justice issue 16, which I'm only getting 3 of those titles.
So yeah, I mean, so Batman, obviously, Detective, because it's Joker War, and that's it.
I'm getting Batman, Strange Adventures, and Young Justice from that list.
Yeah, that's it.
Michael,
you getting anything from that?
I'm not sure if I am.
I don't think there's any
I don't
titles
think-
usually
yeah.
reads.
Yeah.
You don't read Justice League Odyssey, so yeah.
No.
So yeah, none for me.
All right, moving on to July 14th, which is Aquaman issue 61, Catwoman issue 23, which I believe is a new creative team. So Sean G. Murphy is actually taking over the title for that. I might check it out if he's taking over. We have Death Metal issue 2, Harley, Joker, Criminal Sanity's Secret Files issue 1, Justice League issue 49, Looney Tunes issue 255, Metal Men issue 8. We have Nightwing issue 72, Jimmy Olsen issue 12, which is the last issue, and then Teen Titans issue 43. So I have 2 books, maybe 2.5, depending if I get Catwoman. I'm getting Death Metal issue 2, depending if I liked issue 1, and I'm getting Teen Titans.
For me, it would be Metal if it's good. Justice League, obviously, I've been liking that. I would say Teen Titans for sure, and then Nightwing only because it's a Joker War tie-in. But hopefully those Joker War tie-ins are not lame, and I'll pick it up.
Yeah. For me, it's basically just Teen Titans. I mean, unless I just take a glance at Looney Tunes, but probably Teen Titans. Teen Titans is a definite, for sure.
So a book we all love here. Next is July 21st. Action Comics issue 123, Amethyst issue 4, Batgirl issue 47, Batman issue 95, Batman Beyond issue 45, Books of Magic issue 21, Detective Comics issue 1024, The Flash issue 758, Justice League Dark issue 24, The Last God issue 7, and Shazam issue 13. I'm getting 3 books, Batgirl, Batman, and Shazam from that.
Batgirl for me, Batman, and probably Detective as well.
Yeah, and there's none for me.
Books. None for Michael. All right, let's move on to, I believe, this is the last month for DC, and we'll go to Marvel. Batman Superman issue 10, which I also believe is a new creative team. I don't remember. Maybe it's not. Hellblazer issue 8, Legion of Superheroes issue 7, Plunge issue 5, Red Hood and the Outlaw issue 47, Suicide Squad issue 7, and then Wonder Woman issue 759, which I do believe that's the new creative team. So from that list, I'm only getting Wonder Woman. I did try Suicide Squad. I tried that even that last issue that Mike recommended. I just can't get into Suicide Squad.
My God.
I know, I'm horrible. One of
Yeah,
these
you are.
days, there'll be a great issue and I'll just read it all. I'm like, I get it. I get why everyone likes it.
For me, if that Legion of Superhero Gold Lantern book was good, I might pick up 7. Maybe Red Hood. I don't know. I know Michael will pick up Red Hood. Yes.
Yep.
And Suicide Squad for sure because it's the best freaking book out there. And
Maybe.
and so Wonder Woman has the new creative team
I think
at that
that's
issue?
the new one. Yeah, I believe so.
So I might check it out and see.
759. I'm gonna look it up.
But yeah, but like Mike said, I'll just be picking up Red Hood and the Outlaw.
It might be the issue after. It says Steve Orlando on there. Maybe 780. I don't know. It's coming soon though. Mariko Tamaki. Let's see. What? Let's see. Mariko Tamaki. When are you joining? Yeah, it says 750.
You're saying Red Hood's getting canceled? I don't remember.
No, he's always saying things are getting canceled.
Not
Yeah,
getting canceled.
759 is supposed to be Mariko Tamaki's first issue from the article.
I'll be curious to see what happens with that one.
Yeah, me too. I like that writer. So, all right, let's get into some Marvel. And again, guys, we're starting to come to a close. If you guys have those questions, like for a small Q&A section, let us know. All right, moving into July 15th, because Dave, for some reason, didn't give you the first months of July. I don't know why, but maybe because the unveiled schedule included July from the last one. Let me see. I'm gonna look for July 8th, just that way we could have everything in order. So July 8th, July 1st is paperback. So July 8th is Black Panther and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents, I'm sure. Agents of Wakanda. Doctor Strange, issue 5. Empire, issue 0. Fantastic Four. Ghost Rider, issue 7. Marvel's X, issue 4. Strange Academy, issue 2. X-Force, issue 10. And that's it. So I'm only getting 2. I'm going to get Strange Academy, and I'm getting Empire, issue 0.
I would say Empire, Strange Academy, and X-Force.
Get more me, and I don't think Michael has anything on that list.
No.
Definitely not Black Panther and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, definitely not Black Panther and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all. This is for, I think maybe we've actually answered this, but I'm going to let Michael answer it again. I'm sorry. Justin asks, Mike, what's your opinion on Ian Flynn leaving Sonic?
Yeah, I'm sure we probably talked about it, but I mean, Ian Flynn was really great with the Sonic stories and all that stuff, and I really, it is sad to see him go for Sonic because he brought all the fans to really like the character Sonic, and I did see him, I think, once or twice at the New York Comic Con, and it's a little disappointing, but I guess it's probably to move on to another comic or something, but we just hope that Sonic still will stay alive with us, which I'm pretty sure it will.
I'm sure it will. All right, moving on to July 15th for Marvel. We got 2020 I, Wolverine, issue 1, The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 44, Avengers, issue 34, Captain Marvel, issue 17, which I don't know if it's a new arc or not. I don't remember. I think it is. Empire, issue 1, Fantastic Four, issue 21, Giant Size, Magneto, issue 1, Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 4, The Immortal Hulk, issue 35, Spider-Woman, issue 2, and then Venom, issue 26. I'm actually getting 7 comics. I'm getting Amazing Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Empire, try it out, obviously, Fantastic Four, Magneto, Immortal Hulk, and I'm getting Spider-Woman.
For me, I'm just probably getting Amazing Spider-Man from that list.
I might get Wolverine just to see what the heck that book is about. Yeah. Hi, Wolverine. Amazing Spider-Man, of course. Captain Marvel, to see where we're going with that book. Empire, we'll see what happens. See how long I'm on that series for. Spider-Woman issue 2. I'm excited for that book. And of course, Venom issue 26. I'm really excited about that one as well. I think Guardians I'm actually dropping. I just not feeling that particular book right now. So
that's the writer of Immortal Hulk, right?
Yeah, Al Ewing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a big list for that week, which is nice. All right, moving on to July 22nd. Amazing Spider-Man Sins Rising Prelude, which is connected to the main series. Daredevil issue 21, Empire issue 2, Empire Avengers issue 1, Empire X-Men issue 1, Hellions issue 2, Lords of Empire, Emperor Hulking issue 1, New Mutants issue 11, Dr. Aphra issue 2, Wolverine issue 3, a book I forgot about, X-Men and Fantastic Four issue 4. That's been off my radar. I'm getting 5 books. I'm gonna get that Prelude. I'm getting Empire issue 2. We'll see. I'm getting Empire X-Men. I'm gonna get the Emperor Hulking because we're gonna learn anything. I'll probably be in that book. And then I'm getting X-Men Fantastic Four issue 4.
Amazing Spider-Man Sins Rising Prelude. I'm gonna jump on Daredevil.
I'm gonna try jumping on Daredevil too. So
Yeah,
I add that to my list.
So many great things about it. Empire, depending on if the event captures me or not. Because I have a feeling with all this going on, it's got to cross over to the X-Men event. And the X-Men event is like a huge event. You know what I'm saying? So all this Empire stuff with X-Men combined, it could be a very pricey time. Lords of Empire, Emperor Hulking, I don't know. Maybe. New Mutants, no. Star Wars Dr. Aphra, same thing. Like I still have to read issue 1, which is coming out next week. So maybe Wolverine issue 3, yes. And I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I think the Amazing One Shot was it. What was it called?
It's Prelude something.
Yeah, I'll probably check that one out.
It's a Sins Rising. It has to do with a character that's been in the past. That Kindred rose back from the dead.
That's going to be connected.
Kindred, oh boy. Yeah.
So should be hopefully a big issue. Moving on to the last month, which is the Amazing Spider-Man issue 45, Cable issue 2, Captain Marvel issue 18, Empire issue 3, Empire Handbook issue 1, Empire Captain America issue 1, Empire Savage Avengers issue 1, Iron Man 2020 issue 5, Star Wars Darth Vader issue 3, Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality issue 5. Why is that being continued physically and not digitally?
Because people actually bought that book.
I guess so.
Yeah.
X Factor issue 1 is coming out, and then X-Men issue 10 finally is coming out. I'm getting a lot. I'm getting Amazing Spider-Man. What are you going to say, Michael? You go.
No, I was just going to say, I think that's 3 books. Like I heard Darth Vader, which I'm going to get. Or read, actually. Amazing. X Factor, of course. What was the other book I heard?
That you're getting?
Yeah.
Empire Savage Avengers.
I don't know. Last time I read Savage Avengers, it was like a long dialogue-ish book. I mean, I'll give it a try to see, but if it's not going to hold my interest and if there's like a whole, maybe I'll give it like 1 or 2 issues, but if it's going to be a whole mess up like, oh God, then I'm probably going to have to drop it.
I understand that. I'm getting Amazing Spider-Man. I'm getting Cable because Cable issue 1 gave me enough to want to try issue 2, but issue 2 will probably be determining if I get issue 3 or not. Captain Marvel issue 18 I'll get. Empire depending on, again, that first issue. Then I'm also getting X Factor because, interested to see what that's going to be all about. And then, of course, X-Men. Excited to see that back on track.
Yeah, I'm getting Amazing Spider-Man. I'm not getting Cable. I just didn't like that story at all.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No. Captain Marvel, we'll see what that story arc is. Empire, same thing. Empire Handbook, like really? Do we need a handbook? Like,
no, thank you.
I don't like all these tie-ins. So the way I'm going to read this is if I don't normally read this series, I'm not buying that
Oh,
book.
same.
So Captain America, unfortunately, I don't currently read. Savage Avengers, I don't currently read. Iron Man 2020, which should be a digital comic, I'm not picking up. And Star Wars Darth Vader, really solid series. So I'm definitely going to pick that one up for sure. That's a great book. And they got the action figure variant. I don't know. Maybe I'll get that. And Symbiote Spider-Man. I know, Kat, you may not be a fan of it, but I really enjoy it. I think it's a great book. X Factor issue 1. I definitely will be checking it out. It may not be the X Factor I started with when I was a kid with, Jean Grey and Cyclops and the original like X-Men characters, but I'm definitely going to try it. And then of course, X-Men number 10 can't not read it. You've read every single other issue since then.
Yeah, I miss X-Men for sure. All right, we got a couple of questions, and if again you guys got your last minute questions, we could do that. Well, one was from Michael. Linux asks if you had a chance. I'll read this one and then I'll go back to the other one. Have you had a chance to read Daredevil yet? I think we all mentioned that we're gonna binge read it before the next issue.
Right. I'm gonna start reading start getting the individual issues now and then find the trades that are out. I know they have 2 trades out. There was one that was supposed to be released April 28th, I think it was. So obviously it got delayed because of everything that's going on. So you just got to get those 3 trades,
Yeah, I think probably this week I'll give it a read because obviously this week's comics are pretty light. So I'm going to try getting on that depending on how the week goes. Mike Manhattan asks for Michael, have you played Sonic Mania?
No, I really haven't, unfortunately, because there were like other games I've been playing. I mean, I've seen one of my friends playing Sonic Mania, and it looked pretty fun, and lots of these obstacles that you have to go through are pretty insane. So I would say it's a recommended game if you're into all those fast challenges and all that stuff.
Cool. All the other questions we've gotten, I think we've pretty much answered before. So I think we're going to start wrapping up the show. So I know, Michael, you had something you wanted to plug. So
all right. Well, before I go, Kat, do you have any news that you want to share with anyone?
Just that June 1st, I got the Kickstarter, showing up tomorrow at my doorstep. The Like Father Like Daughter trades will be here. So I'm going to be putting that in my store. So if you haven't read the trade, this is actually a different version from the Kickstarter. You get more in this trade. There's short stories that haven't been released. There's short stories from the webcomic. All those corrected letters are in this version. So if you want to go check that out, I'll have that available in the store if everything goes well tomorrow with the delivery. So yeah, I'll have that. And I think that's it for me.
All right. What about you, Mike? Anything you guys share with us for this week coming out?
Yeah, actually, my series are starting to return, which is great because new comics are starting to return. So if you guys want to go on my channel on Comic Book Corner 2.0, you can check out top 10 comic book covers of the week. And you can also check out my top 10 most anticipated comics of the week. Now, I plan on getting my comics tomorrow. I might not. So the people that are looking forward to my comic book haul that I post every single Wednesday, don't be surprised if it just shows up on Thursday. Tomorrow is my daughter's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes,
that's a good excuse to not go to the comic book store.
Yeah, it's her 9th birthday, so she's having this big car parade come by from her dance studio. Ooh. And we're setting it up, and we're spending the day and doing stuff with her. So I might not make it to the shop, or if I do, I might just not get a chance to post a video. So, but again, all my series are coming back, and it's great to just have new comics back in our lives again. It's going to be great.
Even if it's not many. And I guess to, again, give a notice, we will be covering comics next week. Still figuring out how we're going to do it. And whatever digital books came out before this, we'll cover it as well, because I know me and Mike, well, even like Mike just got that Justice League issue. If he wants to throw that into his top 5, there's not many books out, so we're adding the digital books from previous weeks. We usually don't do that, but as we get, going with the comics, we're trying, guys. We're trying.
All right. As news for me, there's just a couple of news. One news is that I have recently posted on my Durock 18 YouTube a special YouTube announcement, which was a big hit, and I want to thank all of you who have went over to my channel and check it out. It does have to deal with this logo that I'm wearing here, so if you want to go check out what I'm talking about, just go to Durock 18. Got a bunch of stuff I'm going to be bringing to that channel, so definitely want to go check that out. I will be doing videos this week of the NES and SNES of Nintendo Switch Online titles, which are coming out tomorrow, but I might post it separate days, one for Thursday and the other for Friday, and it's going to be really awesome. And I recently got back on Discord, so if anyone wants to know my Discord, you could message me on Messenger, or however, if you're contacted with me on Messenger. And definitely, yeah. So lots of great stuff, especially for my channel that's coming. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. And that's all I'm going to say for that part.
Cool. And you want to wrap us up as well, Michael?
Yes. All right, everyone. So that was our comic book weekly for this week. We're going to be getting hyped up and ready for next week. All gears mode for comic books. And it's going to be great talking about comic books again. And also, before we leave, don't forget to, on top of a cat, you could hit that subscribe button. So that way you'll be on the loop of videos that we'll be uploading, as well as the notification bell, where you'll be notified on videos that we upload. So that way you won't miss out on any videos that we upload. And below Mike, on the right side, you could give us a thumbs up for all the... yeah, that way. Or this way, yeah.
Both of them today.
Yes, and you could check us out on social media of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and or YouTube. And with that, that is all for this week. And you can also check out individual YouTube channels, Durock 18, Comic Uno, and Comic Book Corner 2.0, which is all links are right there. And hopefully we'll have all the crew here for next week's Comic Book Weekly. So we're saying good night. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Rock on later, guys.